Judge, Jury, Executioner. Written by Mitchell P. Jones. Read by Morgan. Chapter 1. Nathan wakes gently and, rubbing his eyes, instinctively turns his head to look at the clock. Not that it is really necessary. The cloud of glinting dust particles dancing in the piercing rays of sunlight that stream through the cracked window of his apartment is as good an indication of the time of day as any. Still groggy, he strains to look at the clock through his half-closed eyelids. Until he is certain that it is time to get up, he is reluctant to rub them and potentially dislodge the room that he can feel resting there. The glowing digital display informs him that it isn't even midday yet, and it being a Saturday, there is really no reason for him to get out of bed any sooner than he desires. But as he rests his head on the pillow once more, his eyes returning to the white sheets from the clock as he does so, he feels his physical awareness of his immediate surroundings increase in spite of himself, promptly followed by an uncontrollable rise in his cognitive function. And a very unwelcome one at that. He can sense something. The hairs on his arms stand on end as time seems to have stopped, the desolate void in the room gripping his aching bones long before his eyes can identify that emptiness. But then they do, the revelation striking him like a blow from a sledgehammer. His girlfriend Anna is gone. He can't believe that it has taken him so long to notice. Hit by a wave of almost unbearable anxiety, his gut wrenches as he extends his hand under the sheets to touch the slight depression where she had been lying. The sheets are stone cold. He sits bolt upright in the bed and reaches for his phone, barely able to contain the fear building inside him as he unlocks the screen. In the past, Anna's absence in the morning might not have alarmed him. She liked to rise early and take in the fresh morning air. However, his concern for her mental health and well-being had been steadily rising as her nightmares increased while the amount she ate and the words she spoke decreased. Day by day, Anna had become more emotionally withdrawn, a shadow of the once vibrant and confident girl that he knew and loved. Desperate to distract her from the depression into which she was sinking, he had tried everything to help her. Going for walks. Talking to her. Even just sitting together in silence. Just looking at each other. Anything was better than watching her slumped in the chair, staring blankly at the wall as if she were standing on the edge of a mental precipice. But as hard as he tried, helping Anna to overcome her inner demons seemed beyond his reach. The next step had been more out of desperation than any real faith in a positive outcome. Professional help. An expert. Although the extent that their expertise stretched beyond separating the patient, or rather customer as they were perhaps more aptly described, from their financial means was not entirely apparent. Despite a string of visits to a psychologist, Nathan could honestly say that he had seen very little improvement in Anna's psychological condition so far. The dent in their wallets, on the other hand, had been far more pronounced. What worries him most is the simple fact that there is really no reason for her to have left the apartment at all, let alone so early and without telling him first. Up until recently, there wasn't a single weekend that he could recall that they hadn't woken up together to spend the day engaged in some very simple, but personally satisfying activity. Today should have been just like any other day. A little slice of paradise, doing just about anything with the girl that meant the world to him. His heart pounds. He can feel the blood pulsing through him, the veins bulging on the sides of his forehead, signaling an alarm that reverberates violently within his skull. An emergency that belittles anything that he has known to date. Even as he tries to calm himself and think logically, he simply can't prevent his hands from shaking in response to his body's barely controlled panic, and his thumb trembles as it pounds the phone screen to initiate a call to Anna. He takes a deep breath and holds it as the phone's ringtone repeats itself. He breathes out. "Come on, Anna. Pick up. Come on." But the phone continues to taunt him with its blaring, and his stomach sinks a little more with every additional.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?